the NDC is not necessarily against the review of a register, of a voter register. Why? It is the mandate of the Electoral Commission to review the register, like the Constitution says, to compile a register and review it from time to time. What the NDC is against is the timing of the review and the reasons given for the review. Nobody can challenge the mandate of the Electoral Commission to review a register or to compile a register. It's a constitutional mandate of the Electoral Commission. But as stakeholders and as participants, we can question the timing, we can question the reasoning behind that review. And we are saying that the timing is wrong. One, because of the inconvenience to all of us. Political parties, individuals, and even to the Electoral Commission, and also because of our example in 2012 that led to civil society organizations cautioning against the compilation of a register in an election year because of the tension associated with it, which can be transferred to the election period. That is why we have an issue with the timing. Again, as signatories to the protocols on good governance and democracy under ECOWAS, clearly, Article 2.1 of that protocol frowns upon countries changing significantly the laws that will govern elections 6 months before the elections. So now we are almost 6 months to our elections. Yet you have a law in Parliament seeking to change significantly the laws that will govern this year's elections. So, and that change is what will enable the Electoral Commission compile a register that we think is needless. So those are issues with the timing. Then you have the reasoning given, which we are against. The reasoning, the reason why the EC says we should do a new register is because they claim the current one is not credible. Why is it not credible? Even though we have used it recently to demarcate regions and elect assembly members, they say there are ghosts in that register. Yes. The rebuttal to that is, if you compile a register tomorrow, when people die the next day or even that same day, will that be a good reason to ask for another register? So the point is that every register will always have ghosts. But the current register we have ensures that no ghosts can vote because it is biometric. And so the ghosts cannot come back from their graves to be verified and to vote. Then they claim that, there are non-Ghanaians who had access to the primary documents that were used to register. And so when we compile ours, non-Ghanaians will not have the opportunity to be on it. Sena, and the documents they are seeking to use to ensure that happens are the passport and the national identification card. I don't know about the national identification card, but I've been in the media long enough and followed news long enough to know that the Ghanaian passport is not owned by only Ghanaians. In fact, Anas Samuel Anas did an expose in the passport office where somebody used former President Kufuor's picture to acquire a passport. Nigerians every now and then, Liberians and all other nationals every now and then are arrested with Ghanaian passports. So we are saying the reason that is given for the compilation of the register does not make sense. So it's not just about timing, it's also about the reasoning. And then the costs, which we find very prohibitive and unnecessary. And even the application of the amount, the budget that is allocated to them. It is not just the NDC. In fact, Imani and others are questioning the procedures that are used to even apply that unnecessary costly budget that has been allocated for this exercise, the selection and procurement procedures that are all breached. Those are our concerns. And the procedure of even compiling the register, like I have said, the CI that is before Parliament will only allow Ghanaians with passports and Ghana cards to participate. And we are saying that that procedure, even if you forget the timing issue and you forget the costs and you forget the unreasonable reasons that are given, and you want to even look at the procedure, I mean, if you forget all of that and say, okay, compile a register, even the procedure used is flawed. Because the procedure will lead to majority of Ghanaians who are qualified and should be on the register and should have the opportunity to decide the fate of this government and other political parties will be denied the opportunity with this procedure that is being used. We have less than 5 million, 6 million people put together you want to exclude. Even the birth certificate, that is the primary document used to get the passport, is not allowed. And I listened to, and that's just me wrapping up, I listened to a press conference that was organized by some Christian, interest group, I think in the Upper East or Upper West, I don't remember, this week, Northern region. And for me, the one who addressed the press conference on behalf of his colleagues said something instructive. What makes Madam Jean Mensah and her people think that all other identification cards in this country were not correctly compiled, and they are those ordained by God to give us cards that will make us truly Ghanaians? What makes them think that they have that, what do they call it? Divine right. What makes them think DS cannot be wrong? I mean, that mindset. And if I were Madam Jean Mensah, I would have been more careful. Because for me, I said it even at the time that she was appointed, that I don't think the president thought through very well before deciding to appoint her, given her track record of her consistent running battles with at least one major political party in this country at the IEA. If I were the president, I would have thought twice before considering her, because she has been on record of always being at loggerheads with at least one major political party. So to appoint such a person to become a referee, if I were a president, I would have thought twice about it. But then I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and I thought and said that perhaps when she goes there, she will conduct herself in a way that will show that she was a different person at civil society and will be different as referee. But it looks like she just enjoys those running battles. I just hope she does not, in that intransigence, lead this country into the abyss. Okay. I pray that good sense prevails. Okay. I pray that in the end, the interest of this country and the peace that we have are preserved.
Thank you very much, Honorable Suhuyini.